Say hi, internet friends. Okay, that was your 15 seconds of fame. You're all done now. Hey, what's up, you guys? I have not made a video like this where I sit down and talk to you in ages. Okay, it's been a minute. Okay, I think the last video that's up on my channel that's like a personal life video is, I'm pretty sure it's the American Tries British Snacks. That was filmed all the way back in November. It is now March 2019. Crazy shit has happened, you guys. Crazy shit has happened. I am back. I am here. I am queer. I am making videos. I am legit sticking to it this time. I know I've said that like 7 times before, but it's really happening this time. Come here. You can have your 15 seconds. Say hello, everybody. Stop it. Stop. Hi, buddy. Bentley. Bentley, say hi. Okay, you gonna leave Mama alone? Thank you. Next. Okay, don't get crazy. I'll kick you out. So everything's different now. If you can't tell, all of my drag videos have disappeared from my channel because I'm not about that life anymore. Yeah, I know. It's shocking. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love drag. I love Clea. I love what it has done for my life. I still love producing the show that I produce. I still love my drag queen BFFs. I am absolutely, completely, 100% grateful that that chapter of my life happened. I love it. I will always love it. I may go back to it someday, but for now, Clea does not exist in my life anymore. I don't have the time. I don't... 95% don't have the desire. I'm just busy. I'm doing big things. I'm making career moves. I'm doing, you know, like all that grown-up stuff. I'm just busy. And, you know, the chapter ended. Chapters end, and that's okay. And that's it. So this channel is going to be 100% different now. I mean, I don't know, whatever. It's going to be about my life. I hope you still want to stay. If not, thanks for hanging out for 2 years while I did drag. It was nice. It was fun. Thank you. Bless. Okay, so obviously by the title of this video, the reason you clicked on this video, I am so excited to make this video. I have wanted to make this video for almost a year since I started going by my new name. I am very excited to make this video. Obviously, this is about why I changed my name and why I chose the name that I chose. So let's get into it. Let me give you just a brief little timeline in history. And no, I'm not going to tell you what my old name was. If you know my old name, if you knew me by my old name, please respect my choices. Don't call me by that name. I will not answer to it. I will delete your comments. I will drop kick you out of my life and just, you know, be a cool person. I have always hated my birth name. Hated it forever. Used to go by shorter versions of it, contemplated changing it and going by a different name in like middle school. Hated it. Just, I've always hated it. My biological father is the person who picked my name. I had his surname, and the middle name also was relatively picked by him and my biological mother. They both kind of picked it, but it definitely was, the name was pretty much picked by him. And I will go into another video about him, but I want absolutely nothing to do with him. He is a terrible person who is exactly where he deserves to be. And so I always hated his last name, did not want to have it. I went through this phase where I thought, oh, I'll keep the last name because I'll turn it into a last name that people will be proud to have. But then I just had some huge falling out with my biological family, and that kind of was the push that I needed to change the name. The first name, I just never liked the sound of it. Didn't like that. My bio dad is the one who picked it out. Middle name is after one of my relatives who's actually extremely homophobic, and obviously I'm queer AF, so don't love that. Last name, didn't love it because it was his, and people always pronounced it wrong. Anyways, that's the gist pretty much of why I changed my name. It's honestly pretty simple. I didn't like it. I'm an adult. I made a decision, changed my name. It's that simple. It's really that simple. Now we're going to talk about my new name, which you obviously all know, or I mean, I assume you all know. I know my channel name is J Vlogs now, so obviously you know that J is part of my name. So let's talk about my name and why I picked it. And I still just get so happy. I absolutely love my name. I should, right? I picked it. I went through a lot of names. I did not spur of the moment choose a name. I did a lot of research. All three of my names, my first, middle, last, they are all very deep and meaningful and significant to me, and it is just overall encompassing me, and it represents me, who I am as a person, so well. And I absolutely love my name. I just love it. That's me. Hello, hi, what's up? I also answered to J. I went through a phase where I don't like being called that because nobody called me this. Ugh. And the tiny humans that I watch call me JJ. So, Jaelyn, that's me. I went through, like I said, lots of names to pick the names that I've chosen, and I chose them for a reason. Some of the names that I was considering obviously was Jaelyn. I was also considering the name Emerson. I also really loved the name Thea. I really loved just a lot of like different names. My birth name was so common. I met so many people with that name. I want to make sure I spell this word right. I met so many people with that name, and I wanted a name that's a little different. I have personally never met another Jaelyn in my life. I know that it is a name that people are using. I know there's like I think there's an NBA player with Jaelyn. I think that's his name. I'm not 100% sure. There's some sports person with the name Jaelyn. I was considering a lot of them, and I ultimately decided on Jaelyn because of the literal definition of the name, which is survivor. If you know me personally, or I don't know, whatever, if you know a little bit of background about me, I have gone through some shit. I'm definitely going to make more sit-down videos like this to talk about some of the stuff that I have gone through and like share my experiences. Maybe like we can bond over our shitty childhoods. But I have gone through some shit, and I consider myself a survivor. Not only through the shit that I survived, but I'm also a suicide survivor. And so the name, the definition, that's just what sealed the deal for me on that name. I also just love the way that it sounds. I think it's really pretty. Not like crazy unique, but not every other person in your English class is named Jaelyn. So I love it. That's why I picked Jaelyn. My middle name is Daniela. And isn't that so pretty? I had a tough time picking a middle name too. Once I narrowed it down, I picked first name and surname, and I had those locked and loaded, and I had the hardest time ever with the middle name. Ultimately, I think I just liked the way that it sounded because both like the significant symbolism between both of the two names that I narrowed it down to were really great, and I loved them both. But what it really came down to was the sound of it, and I loved it. It had a good, there's a word for it, but I can't think of it, but how the syllables are. So Jaelyn, Daniela, and then the last name's just one syllable. So I liked that it was 231. It's just got a nice little feel to it. It sounds great. It rolls off your tongue. I love it. The reason that I picked Daniela is sometimes it just feels a little weird to me because I don't consider myself religious at all. Y'all know, I hate labels. I absolutely hate them, but I'm somewhere between an atheist and an agnostic, and so I do not subscribe to Christian beliefs. I think that the Bible is an excellent work of fiction. It's beautiful, it's lovely. I'm sure there was a person named Jesus who lived thousands of years ago, but you know, I don't consider myself religious. So it's a little weird, I guess, when you take that into account, why I picked the name. But at the end of the day, it's my name and I love it. So, you know, that's all that matters. I'm just drawing a little picture here. That looks terrible, actually. Whatever. I promise I'm actually really creative. Oh, that's supposed to be a lion. So obviously, off of that spiel, I picked Daniela because of the Bible story, Daniel and the Lion's Den. And Daniela I liked better than just Danielle. I feel like it's got a nice little flair to it. And again, the syllable thing, Danielle, Daniela, it just sounds a little bit better. So I definitely relate to that story of just, you know, this person living their life, doing their thing, believing what they believe in, and just trying to be the best themselves, you know? And then because of that, they just get thrown into a lion's den for no reason. Just the lions are supposed to kill them. I just really relate to that. You'll probably understand that better someday when I tell more of my story, but for now, that's just like the gist of it. I relate to being thrown into a den full of some hungry ass lions and somehow not dying. My surname, I get all the time. Everybody thinks that it is actually my middle name because it's just so like, it is a last name because I actually do know some people who have this as their birth last name or their married last name, and it's definitely a real last name. But it's just not common, and it's a little like, oh my god, that's so pretty. Oh, wow, what a name. Anyways, so my surname is Rose. I got this little baby right here, this little Rose, because of it. I live in Portland, aka the Rose City. Portland will always have this huge, ginormous piece of my heart because who I was before I moved to Portland was not my true self. I was not happy. I was not living for me. I was living to please other people, and I moved here. I moved away. I became independent. I did my own thing. I found my calling in life. I came out. I fell in love. I did everything huge and monumental here. So Portland is always going to have this really special place in my heart. And so 50% of the reason that I chose that surname is because Portland is the Rose City. The other 50% of why I chose that surname is a poem written by Tupac, which I can't believe so many people don't know that he wrote poems. Like, isn't that all a rap really is a poem? But anyways, this was specifically a poem, not a rap, and it is called The Rose That Grew from the Concrete. And if you haven't read it, please go read it. It is amazing. The first time I ever heard this poem, it was my senior year of high school. It was right before graduation. One of my teachers read it to the class. The poem is about a rose that grew from a crack in the concrete, and it's all about overcoming adversity and just, being born into a rough place and growing from it and blooming, and that's me. That is just, it's me to a T. And like I said, if you're not familiar with my whole story, we'll get there. But if you are, that's me to a T. And I love that poem so much, and Rose it's so special. It's just so special. So that is my name. I absolutely love it. It is just, I love it. It's been almost a year since I started going by my new name, and absolutely no regrets. Best decision of my life. Don't answer to my dead name anymore. It's just not, it's not my name. It never was my name. It never felt right. And I really truly feel like I changed my name and then I changed my life. And I can't tell you if the two have anything to do with each other, but I can tell you that I have felt more happy and more true to myself as Jaelyn than I ever did as my dead name. And I don't want to say I'm a new person because you can't just become a new person, but I just, best decision of my life. Questions I get a lot about my name are obviously why I changed it and why I picked the names I picked. So obviously I just answered all of that. Another question that I get a lot is, am I going to legally change my name? Yes, I have not done that yet. Because if you know anything about me, you know that I am in a relationship with somebody who lives in another country and my passport is in my dead name. So currently there has not been enough of a window between trips to get all of that done in a timely manner. I am going back to London in May, and after that I will not be going anywhere that requires a passport for 7 months. 7 months is plenty of time for me to finally get everything done, because not only am I legally changing my name, I need a new driver's license, passport, social security card. I need to change my name with credit unions, banks, all of everything, and it's a lot of work. And it takes a lot of time. So I have not legally changed it yet. I will be legally changing it. People ask me if I regret it. Absolutely not. No. Do I still answer to my old name? No. Actually, I was in the grocery store the other day and somebody was calling out that name, and they called it out, like, I heard noise, but I didn't like connect the two. And then I finally did, but I still didn't like turn my head over to it. It was just weird. It was like a weird thing for me to realize, wow, that's not my name. Another question I get a lot is, what was your old name? Which is an absolutely inappropriate question to ask, okay? If I wanted to tell you my old name, I would come out and tell you my old name. And this is a general rule of thumb for anybody who has changed their name. If we don't straight up tell you, it's not your place to ask. And it is also never, absolutely never your place to tell somebody what a person's dead name was. I know it's a little bit different for me because I am cisgendered, and it's not, I don't want to say it's not as big of a deal if you do it to me, because it really does upset me now if people call me by that name or tell other people what my name was without my permission. But it's so offensive, and honestly it doesn't matter what my name used to be because it's not my name. And that's really just that's it about that, you know. There's no arguing that. It's not my name, doesn't matter, don't call me that. That is all the questions that I can personally think of. Those were all the questions that got asked on my little Instagram question thingamajigger. If you have any other questions, I guess, that I didn't answer, feel free to leave them down in the comment section and I will answer them. Either I'll respond, or I guess if I get enough, I could make another video, but it seems a little redundant at this point. And that's it, I guess. So that was fun to sit down and make a video like this. I haven't done it in so long. It's actually fun. So obviously I'm gonna make more. If you want to leave a suggestion about what you want to see down there. Obviously everything I said about, like, story about my bio dad, about my childhood, about being a suicide survivor, I'm gonna make videos about all those things, so you don't have to like comment that you want to see those things, because they're coming whether you want them to or not, okay? Thanks so much for watching. If you made it all the way through, this is probably like a 15 to 20 minute long video, so if you made it all the way through, respect, okay? Make sure to look in the description down there, because my Instagram and Snapchat are in there. If you want to add me, and we can be internet friends. I love friends. I will never have enough of them. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.